The US president has called on a host of foreign nations to send warships to help secure the Strait of Hormuz as the Middle East war enters its third week. US President Donald Trump has urged China, France, Japan, South Korea and the UK to deploy vessels to the region as Iran continues to attack tankers, sending oil prices surging. On Truth Social, President Trump has stated, quote, "One way or the other, the United States would get the Strait of Hormuz open, safe and free."
Well, strikes have continued across the Middle East as Iran and Israel continue to exchange fire, with the Israeli military saying Iran launched 6 waves of attacks overnight. Defence systems of several Gulf nations are also being tested as Iran continues to launch drones at neighbouring countries. Well, speaking in Lebanon, the UN Secretary General António Guterres has admitted he's lost faith in the Security Council as he visits Beirut amid intense Israeli bombardment. Lebanese health officials say more than 800 people have been killed there and more than 1 million displaced since Israel began its offensive against the Iranian-backed Hezbollah. Well, our Middle East correspondent Bridget Rolleston has more from Jerusalem.
US President Donald Trump has called on several countries, including China and the UK, to send warships to help keep the Strait of Hormuz open. That strait has been at a standstill for days now after Iran has been attacking tankers there, which has sent oil prices soaring. The US has said that it would escort ships through that strait. However, there's little detail on when and how that will happen. Iran and the US have been trading barbs over this strait. Iran has said that that waterway is under its full control and that any ship aligned with the US or Israel will become a target. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has hit back. He has threatened to wipe out all of Iran's oil infrastructure on Kharg Island, which is an Iranian island which has Iran's main oil hub. And he says that he will do that if Iran continues to block the Strait of Hormuz. The US says it has already bombed 90 targets on Kharg Island, which has kind of opened up a bit of a new front in this war. Meanwhile, Iran has been ramping up its attacks across Israel. Here in Israel today, we've been in the north and also Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and there's been quite a few sirens go off, and we've seen a missile get through and some shrapnel land in a Palestinian neighbourhood in Jerusalem. In Israel, there is a vast majority of Israeli Jews support this war, according to national polls. But there has been an anti-war protest held in Tel Aviv today. More than 100 people turned out to rally against this escalating conflict in Lebanon and also Iran. And I spoke to a few of them today.
This war is illegal. We should protest against it.
I think it's important to protest the atrocities that Israel and the USA are committing in Iran because they don't like kids and civilians being killed. I think it's pretty simple.
If you go in Tel Aviv, you can see the streets are empty. Everyone is in pain of constant war, and if you go to Iran, it's even worse.
I'm against this war in every cell of my body. I don't think that force is the way to solve problems.
So, Bridget, missiles have continued to be fired overnight. What is the latest on Israel's offensive in Lebanon?
Israel says that it's now carried out 70 strikes in the Lebanese capital of Beirut this week, while Hezbollah as it tries to target Hezbollah infrastructure, while Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militant group, says that it has been continuing its joint and coordinated attacks with Iran on Israel. Meanwhile, there's been reports that representatives from Israel and also Lebanon are expected to meet for talks in coming days as they try to de-escalate this conflict, because there have been more than 800 people now killed in Lebanon since the war began. There are also reports that the US is involved. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is apparently leading these efforts from Washington. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, has also weighed in. He has offered to host these ceasefire talks in Paris between Israel and Lebanon. But of course, there's a lot that needs to happen before we can even see ceasefire discussions, because there is a lot lot of divisions between the Lebanese government, Hezbollah, and also the Lebanese military. Now, this is all happening as there are increasing reports that Israel is about to launch its biggest ground invasion into Lebanon since 2006. We have seen a bit of a military build-up on that border over the past week or so, but there hasn't really been much movement in the last couple of days. But many people in Lebanon will be hoping that these ceasefire talks can happen before Israel makes a move into the south of Lebanon as it threatens to take more territory there.